Hey, I'm Emily Fraser from McDermott Cues. I hope you all like and follow Shark Street.
Hi, I'm Lucas Casaver. Join us on the Shark.
Hello, I'm Salotto, and join us on Shark Stream.
Hello everyone, I'm Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. Join us to the Shark Stream. Let's go!
Hello, I am David Alcaide. Join us in Shark Stream.
Hey guys, I'm Federer Horst. Join us on the Shark Stream.
I'm Christina Tkach. Join us on the Shark Stream.
Hey guys, it's Jason Shaw. Join us on the Shark Stream tonight.
I'm John Moore. Join me on the Shark Stream.
Hit the lights, Bobby grab the mic, chicken, calling at you from the other side. Shark 3, going live. We're about to enter water, only sharks survive. In 3, 2, 1.
Salato is the world's premier pool community. Playing your friends has never been more fun. Raise the bar with Salato so regular practice can become real pressure. With monthly prizes and cash payouts, Salato brings pool to the people. You can even submit match results to Fargo Rate through Salato if you want, but you don't have to. Your race, your place. Make your matches count with Salato. Download now and get started. No minimum play per month. 8, 9, 10 ball. You choose. It all counts.
He actually started his stopwatch when I said 2 minutes.
All right, here we go, folks. It's, welcome to the Shark Streams. Brian Brennan in the booth. We're bringing you a list match here on a Wednesday evening. This is number 11, Don Gartman, who was playing a list match at 5:30 and lost to Jamie. What's his last name? Nadeau. So Jamie's now in the 10 spot. Don's in the 11 spot. Mike happened to be here, so they're going to go ahead and run with it. The race to 9 ball. I got to fix that. Just now getting started, so the score is 0-0. Nice, I think Don's in like a pink shirt. I gotta make sure.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Don right there. So off we go to the races. I think the game they just played, it was Don versus Jamie Nadeau, and I'm pretty sure it went hell. Were you watching?
Yeah, it did go hell, and then Don had a unlucky roll there and gave a 3-ball out to Jamie.
Take right there. Hey, Paul. First comment. There you go.
So it's been a while since I've been in the booth.
Yeah, this is Will Alley sitting next to me. He happens to be here most Wednesday nights, so I figured I'd take some company.
It's Will, Paul.
Yeah. Right, ball in hand for Don.
It lays good, but this table's hard, so
I was just recently on the other side of the camera. What was it? Last Friday with Mike Gould playing an action match. So it's a little stranger being on the wrong side of the camera.
I saw that. I saw some of that match. Did you feel like you had any nerves, or were you comfortable the whole time?
Well, he had this, I don't know if it was clever planning or if it was just to sort of level the play field. We agreed before the match that neither of us was allowed to have any booze or beers or anything before the match started, but as soon as the match started, we clinked glasses and got started. My hunch is after the first rack, I started relaxing a little bit, but that first rack was horrible. We were both just slapping the 9 around the table, no real rhyme or reason. But then I got into a groove. I think rack 3, I broke and ran. And then I had a pretty bad choke on rack 4 or 5, I forget, but got the right result. Ended up winning 7-4, and I really like that format, the Masters format.
I think Don is going to try to play the combo here.
Yeah, I think so.
Combo. I like to go bottom rail first on this. To me, it opens up the pocket a little bit. So I like to hit it just before the 9 and go bottom rail first. But that's me when I play these shots, and I actually learned it from Phil Davis.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I saw Phil Davis do it in a couple of really high-stakes matches, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. So
if I understand that correctly, you like to hit the kick into the 9 instead of the carom or the combo.
So no, I'm using the combo, but I would hit the 3 ball to the rail first. The 3 ball would go off the rail and into the...
Yeah, okay, so a bank combo.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if these guys are Fargo rated. Let's take a quick look at the internet.
Yeah, Don is like 550-ish, somewhere around there. And Mike probably plays about the 5, same speed, 560, 570, even if he's not on Fargo.
Yeah, I sent them a note saying I was interested in using Salato, but I had no profile. Oh, well, not there. Mike's not in there, so...
Yeah, and again, Don doesn't play a lot of tournaments, so that Fargo is well off.
Let's put 500 plus just to keep it interesting.
No, no, Paul, I'm a 539, so that is far from the truth. But I am playing pretty well in Masters. I'm 80% in Masters last 2 sessions.
Yeah, I'm curious myself. That's why I decided, I was like, all right, Salato's a sponsor. Maybe I can start playing a couple Salato matches. I don't know if I want to get into a Fargo-rated tournament anytime soon, but definitely picking up a cue a lot more lately. We'll see what it actually turns out.
It's weird. I went up to racks last night, and because I've had some success, like, everybody was coming up to me. It's like, yeah, I played you recently. I played you. I don't remember these guys that I play.
Of course.
No idea. And they're talking about the tournaments that I won. So I know I beat them because I was undefeated in a few of those tournaments.
Yeah, well, I remember you went on a tear there for a little while.
Yeah.
Says he'll play against me sometime. Hey, I'm usually here most days now. So if you're bored and you want to shoot a few racks around, that's fine. Came right inside it.
Yeah, it's tough lead. So Don should get out here. Like, this is where you would expect these guys to get out. They're good enough players to get out from this position. He's going to try to go 1 rail position on the 6th ball here, and he overbaked it.
Yeah.
He's gone too far.
Yeah.
Surprising, and he's throwing the hands up in the air, but he's played on the table now for a couple hours. That's so surprising he's that far off on position.
In a couple hours. They started around 5:30 and they played till 8:14.
Yeah.
I got here a little late, so I didn't get here in time for the beginning of the match. Otherwise, I probably would have streamed that one too.
15 racks takes a while. He just made a nice shot on the 6, especially on this table.
Got to be absolutely precise to get that to go down.
But again, here you got to do a lot of work to get to the 8 ball. So my guess is Mike's going to get another shot here. He's got to come up with a great stroke here.
Yeah, as soon as you put that draw in there, it just kicks the line right off. At least it does for me.
I hate to be predictable, but it's just,
That's one of the reasons we're sitting here. Well, it's so much easier to call these events from the booth.
He's trying to hold it, and that's why he's missing. Again, you really want to go the 2 rails on that, but
Yeah, put the cue right where the 7 is now.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even bother here. I'd basically play it safe, make him get out.
The 7 behind.
Nope. I like popping that shot and let the cue ball kind of slide in behind the 8. That sends the 7 ball way up table. Yeah, because he's just right back into the same thing.
You get to try again. Gotta really thin this. It looks like he's tried to roll behind it. Didn't quite get there, though.
Very hard shot. And this is hard as well. He's got to try to go on the side on this.
Say the 9's blocking the corner, otherwise he'd have natural position. But
and you would normally hit this hard to come back down table, and on these things, hitting that hard there. Yep.
I think he might have just sold out there.
Yeah, you're trying to get out of the shot. You want to go either 2 rails on this or just 1 rail and back to the bottom rail.
We're already up to like 30 people, so thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button. It helps us get the word out there and makes it more prominent on YouTube and Facebook. So make sure you hit the like button. And if you want to share it out to your friends, that would also be very much appreciated.
Perfect angle here. You just got to make the ball.
Got to roll right to the 9.
The rail a little bit. Again, on this table, you don't want this. I mean, it's not the end of the world. You should make the shot, but you just don't want it on this table.
I think you cut it in. Yep. Ouch. You hit that rail anywhere.
Yeah, and that's why I say on this table, that's a very makeable shot on any other table, but
yeah, that's the tricky part. You make that shot on any other table, that would have gone down. On this table, even at that angle, if you hit anywhere up here, it's not going in.
And the difference
bounce right out.
The difference between these guys at their skill level and what you see from Lucas and Ryan and Dave Gavrish is he's not stroking the ball there. He's kind of poking at the 9 ball and kind of trying to guide it into the pocket.
Yeah, when you start to feel like you're steering instead of popping in the back, I always look for that clank in the back when I'm trying to play these things.
Exactly. So that's really the difference in the stroke on that. You know, people have asked me how I've improved lately. Well, I've worked on mechanics and stroke. That's what I've done, and that would be my advice to any player out there is, you know, don't worry about pocketing balls. Worry about, you know, what your mechanics are, what's your pre-shot routine.
Oh, that was Don.
Follow it.
Don got the point.
Yep.
I shifted. Oh, come on, button. Stop. Assholes. My bad. All right, here we go. Yeah, I should talk to the IT guy. These buttons aren't working. Oh, wait. Hey, Dan. Thanks for tuning in. Should be a really good match. It draws back enough just to get on the 2.
Any other table, I'd say he's, you know, favored to get out here, but, you know, this...
He stuck himself on the 3 to boot. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can see the facial expression there as he walked away. He's just like, what the heck was that?
A little bit of pressure on him because, you know, if he wins, he goes to 11 and he's close to, you know, making the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. You want to have your name on the wall. And Jamie just took his spot on the number 10 spot, so he's the gatekeeper now. Hopefully soon we're going to have, I forget, is it Ashley going to be playing Mike Jackson? Because Mike just went up.
Yeah, so I think so.
I think it's Ashley and Mike Jackson. I think Ashley still has a down arrow from Lucas. Lucas has an up arrow to play against Dave Gavrish, I want to say. Unless Dave... Oh, man, I have to look at the actual website. Sometimes it's not up to date, though. However, with any of those top 10s, you're almost always going to get a pretty exciting match, and we're looking forward to seeing if Ashley can move from top 5 to top 4. I think that's where she's going to hit the wall, though. Those 4 players are, I mean, you got Lucas.
That top 4.
Lucas, Rob Pearson, Dave Gavrish, Ryan Cullen. Those are beasts.
It's hard for me because, you know, I was on the list quite a while ago now, and I was on there for a couple of years. I feel the list was a lot stronger 3-4 years ago. It would be harder for people to even make the top 10 with, you know, Gene Hunt on the list, Tim Levine on the list, Sal Madalvo on the list.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, really top level players. I mean, Rob Pierce is a 700. Lucas Fracasso is a 700. Dave Gavrish is like a 695 or something like that. They're all right there at the pro level. Ashley's like around 6'10" now, I think. So, man, she's going to have to really come correct if she wants to beat those guys. Pull the list up real quick.
I'm forgetting a guy's name now, and I can't. Tim? Was it Tim?
Where's your top 20 on the lower screen?
Yeah, there's another guy that left the list a while ago too. That was.
Well, Oscar was hanging around in the top 10 for a little while. He kind of shipped out.
Oscar and I used to always battle back and forth. He's on my master's team. We play now. I feel basically based on the statistics, I have the edge on Oscar.
Oh, I could have swore Sean and Mike play last night or the night before. See, these guys don't send their scores in, so I thought Sean actually went down a level and Mike went up.
Tim Hurley, that's the name I was thinking of.
Okay.
He was very good on the list too. Another one, always in the top 10 for a long time.
See, and they're showing Ashley as an up arrow, even though I'm 90% sure she's got to play down to Sean. Oh no, she beat Sean.
Yeah, she did.
Sean had that eye problem.
Yeah, I think he's finally getting out of that now a little bit.
Yeah, I talked to him. He's here now, but I talked to him the other night, and he told me what actually happened. He thought he had a scratched cornea because that's what the symptoms were. Like he couldn't see. There was all kinds of problems. Turns out he replaced his contacts with some of the contacts that were in a box, and realized that the box he bought the contacts in was from 2018. So the contacts were expired, and they probably had some kind of chemical issue or something like that. He said once he got a fresh box of contacts and put them in, everything cleared right up.
So I'm going to throw out all my contacts that I have in my car. I haven't been wearing them. I had an eye issue about a year and a half ago because of diabetes.
Oh, yeah.
And I got water droplets behind my eye. I couldn't see anything. I had lost all my vision. Like I couldn't see road signs, everything. I mean, I could see things, but I couldn't focus on anything. And it was killing me for a while. So I got contacts and I was able to see well with the contacts. But I ended up in the ER.
Guy's safe, by the way. I just dropped that 5 right behind the 9. Perfect.
I ended up in the ER from those because I thought I had to contact my eye, and I kept poking my eye, and there was no contact in there.
Oh.
Fishing for something that didn't exist.
Yeah, that's probably going to, poking your own eyeballs several times is not good for you.
But you can't sleep in those things.
No, not you have to take them out and soak them or whatever. I've never had them, but I know folks that have. Do that leave. A lot of distance, but I think he's got an angle here.
Got a slight angle. I mean, it's a tough shot to get started. Playing safe. They're going back and forth. This table tends to do this, and it gets a little bit hard to watch a little bit.
I noticed that happens a lot more frequently on 8 than it does on like 4 or any of the other tables, where you just have that shaky confidence on the 4-inch pocket. So you're like, do I try for it or do I go for the safety? And a lot of times people, smartly go for the safety instead. I
don't know if it is though, because I think that's the curse of the table. Once you get tentative on this table, it just gets worse and worse as you go along. You're better off, like, and I did it in one of the tournaments I was in. At certain points, I just started free stroking to make sure I'd get out. I played safe until I knew I had a 2 or 3 ball out. Then I free stroked those balls to finish the racks.
He's got a chance to tie it up here. If he gets he's got decent position. It's just got to go up and down the table a couple times. Actually, just hover the cue right around the center of the table.
This is just pocket the ball right here.
Yeah, pocket the 7, pocket the 8.
You're going to have natural position.
Wrapping an extension. Yeah, it looks like he did.
Mike's a good player, and if he gets up on him, it's going to be a problem. If Don gets up on Mike, then he tends to fold a little bit. So.
We overran it, but he's going to be okay.
He's okay. He's sort of like
he's a little jumpy.
A little piston action with his hand, if you notice. It's not a smooth stroke, and I think that's the table doing that to him. But I noticed it when he was warming up a little bit too. Stroke isn't smooth.
The great Paul Drexler was here maybe a week ago, less than that. Or, dropping off a cue he'd worked on for Bobby, and Bobby texted me and said, "Hey, bring your Predator down, that Predator LE6 98 I have." And he took a look at it and he says, "You know what? I've seen worse," because it was water damage.
Yeah.
And he took it with him, and he called me not long ago and basically said, I think I can put this right back to factory condition." I was like, "No way! That's amazing! I can't wait to see this cue." Nice. So excited.
He's a really nice guy. I mean, I know he's kind of backed off a little bit. He was a little mad when he looked at my cue because it had dings, and I'm kind of felt like saying, "Well, I'm using it." like to tell you.
It's player's condition, you know. Sometimes you whack the side of the table when you're walking around if you're not paying attention. There's a lot of little ways to do that.
Well, with me, I might just whack them a table because I'm mad. But that's
the other reason.
I've actually gotten much better. I've really worked on it hard.
But he said, you know, there's some issues, but I think I can really get it back to normal. I'm so excited. He even said he told me he had a matching shaft for it, and that's really tough when you think about the cue I bought in I'm thinking 98 or 99 when we went down to Vegas.
I've used his shafts. I have his shafts at my house. I don't use them. Literally, when I bought my cue from him, it was just a $1,500 cue, nice cue. Those shafts didn't hold their shape for 4 months. So that's why I shoot with carbon fiber now. I wouldn't be able to use the shafts that I purchased with that. Now the Joss cue that I've had for a couple decades now, I could pick up those shafts and use them today. They're very good. And I think that's a lot with the wood industry in general. It's nothing to do with Paul Drexler. It's hard to find old wood now. You get this newer
That's
wood.
what I mean, though. He said he has the same shaft wood that was used on that cue originally in 1998. He still has it in his workshop.
Yeah,
like, that's
that
amazing.
makes a big difference.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when
it cost me, but it's going to be amazing.
When I talked to Stephen Janes, who Stephen and Dan both signed my cue, my Joss cue, he said he still has the ivory that he used on my cue.
Wow. You don't hear that very often anymore.
Well,
hi, Frowny. How's he? Good to see you again in the comment section. Thanks for tuning in. We got a little on. Yeah, we're still hovering around 30.
You remember Kevin Bailey that was up here from Georgia?
I thought I saw him just recently.
You may have. I think he may have popped up recently. But I was going to sell my Joss cue. I was considering selling it, and I showed it to him, and he goes, "Man, no." He goes, "I don't normally say this to people, but you're going to regret this. Do not sell it. Keep it." And I thought about it, and, and I was on the fence, so that wasn't a hard sell doing it one way or the other. And I've decided now, once I get things financially square, I'm going to get a carbon fiber shaft for it and an extension, and I'm going to use it as a playing cue. Not all the time, but I will use it. So I'm looking forward to when I get it set up. It's not set up now. I wouldn't be able to use it I can't go from wood shafts to carbon fiber shafts. It will drive me nuts.
If you go back and forth, it's going to mess your game up, yeah. I'm wondering if this 2-ball is kind of wired in the corner.
It might go as a carom.
I don't have the overhead, darn it.
It might go as a carom. I would have to hit it thick, but I think it would go as a carom.
You can tell these guys like playing together because there's just a lot of banter going on out there.
Mike can talk. This is why I use my headphones. I actually it was a funny story with that. I was in a tournament up in Rhode Island, and the guy asked me if I could hear him with the headphones, if he talked to me, and I said, "Sure, I can, but I prefer you don't talk to me." That's fine.
Yeah.
And that's just me when I play. I really just want to play the table, and that's it. I really don't want any other distractions.
Ben says he switched to carbon shaft and loves it. I'll tell you what, I'll be honest. When I bought that Predator, before I had the Predator, I had 3 McDermott D-line cues. And on every single one of them, I bought a Predator 314, the original 314 shafts. And a lot of people on AZ Billiards and different websites say that the original 314s hit way better than the current ones. I don't know anything about that. But having said that, since my cues are out of commission, Bobby's been letting me borrow a Viking with a 1275 Siege carbon on it. And I love it. I mean, it hits just like I remember when I was playing with the original 314. It hits through the ball well. There's no twang, no nothing. It's just a very solid cue. So when I do decide to go back into, actually playing tournaments and that kind of stuff, I'm going to have a hard decision to make and decide on, do I want to keep that Predator in Smithsonian condition? Or do I want to bust it out, get a carbon for it? I just don't know.
Well, Mike can get out of this rack. It depends on, I would play this one a little inside English to play the 7 down in the same back corner, or come around to play it in the corner. Play it with low left-hand English and come around a couple rails, play it in the same pocket. So we'll see what he does.
I like a touch of English to hold it a little left or a little
He's
right.
playing it a little soft, and I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that, but
Ronnie says she plays with many carbon fiber shafts, custom and so on, but she always goes back to her OB Classic Pro. You know what I mean? There's sometimes that adage of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But sometimes, you know, you just find the right thing and you just don't change a thing. Just stay with it. Oh, you move the 8 right
that's
to the
a
side.
major sellout right there. This is easy out.
Left 2 hangers. I mean, the 7 went. He was in great shape on the 8, but right now you can get position on this 8 from anywhere on the table to get on the 9, really.
I was working with Lucas last week or so, and he was checking the deflection on his McDermott shafts, carbon fiber, and they were just deflecting way too much. So I'm like, look, try my Jacoby. Just tell me what you think. I want to know. So Don's in trouble here because this is not where he wanted to be on this shot. He's got to put a draw shot on this and hit this a little hard.
He's got to put this cue on a string to keep it out of the side pocket.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry so much about that, but I think he's going to box the 8 if he doesn't hit it right. Yeah, so he was way off. He was a diamond off.
Here it comes for Mike. Oh, it's about the 50-yard line there. He's got a choice to make.
But bottom line, from talking to Lucas, some of the carbon fiber shafts, they're too flexy, and they have too much deflection. He loved the Jacoby Blacks that I use, but I think there's other shafts that do the same thing.
Right.
You just got to, people that say they don't like carbon and have only tried one should probably try others just to be sure, because they're not all the same.
Oh, just caught the point. Wasn't happy about his position there either. So, yeah, see, that's just it. Golf clubs, you know, carbon fiber is a very versatile material in general. Golf clubs, same thing. There's different levels of flex. There's different levels of composition, just the firmness. You know, you got to try a bunch of different ones. So we got a couple people with a Rhino carbon shaft. Well, we got Dan with the Rhino carbon. Forrest has a carbon Z3. You know, and the tip, honestly, let me see if I can get this out now. When I was playing, you only really had one choice. It was just hard leather tips. There was nothing else. And I'm hearing about all these different layered tips and all this other stuff. I'm completely in the woods when it comes to that. But so I told Paul, I'm like, he says, if you want to get an original hard leather tip like you have on it, I said, you know what? Use your best discretion. I don't know anything. Like he's the guy. I said, you know, I used to play with a hard leather tip. You know, I got a decent hard leather tip kind of sitting on that Viking I'm playing with. Something that hits like that, I'd be thrilled with.
Yeah, when I went to carbon fiber, I went to super soft tips.
Really?
So I could get the feel. I wanted to be able to feel the cue ball. When I was using regular wood shafts, I was fine with a medium tip. So I think it really depends on the person and what they're trying to do.
Right.
But this second set of tips that I have, I'm not getting the same sort of cue ball action that I was getting before. I used to like the Tiger Sniper tips.
See what I mean? There's too many variables.
And I may go back to that just to see if I enjoy that.
Predator. So okay, Forrest has the wood Predator Z3. Now that's interesting.
Oh, that's gonna leave him.
That sucks.
But again, on this table, he's got to get position on the 9. That's what it comes down to. You can't be way off on this.
They go the Horo medium, but the shaft has firm feedback. See, there's, like I said, there's so many variables. The wood can be different. The carbon can be all kinds of different. Ultimately, though, whatever touches the cue ball, the tip, I think has the most to do with how the cue's going to react.
I think, yes, I agree. That to me, the tip is more important than anything else, right? Other than that, like guys, I know guys that change equipment all the time. I'm not a fan of that because if you're changing equipment constantly, you're really not getting used to the feel. And, you know, touch and feel is so important in this game.
You need that memory, yeah. All right, so Mike just went up 2-1 after being down 1-0 early. So Mike's in pretty good shape here. We're racing to 9 tonight, so we'll probably be here for another hour or so, too.
And guys, I know we're telling stories here. If you want me to talk more about the racks, I will.
Yeah. Well,
right now, I think we are talking about the racks, but there's a lot of misses here. So kind of trying to give you some feedback on the pool industry a little bit.
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm always open to talk. I love having the commenters sitting there telling us what they're using because I'm curious myself. I mean, it's just, for me, it was always just the same tip, and I'd replace the tip with the same tip, and I'd keep everything the same every single time. But now there's so many options, so I'm a little in the woods.
Yeah, I know Bobby's selling the carbon cleaner for the shafts.
Oh, the WR Magic Custom Polish.
Yep, and
Carbon polish.
Yep, I had bought that down at the expo this year and met the owners of that and used it. I use it not as much as they suggested I use it. So I wonder about that aspect of the product. But it is a good product. It does clean the shaft really nice, and it will go from like a shade of gray to a darker black once you use the cleaner on there.
I noticed it actually does. It's a black fluid, and it leaves some sort of residue that it certainly appeared to me to make it a little bit smoother, because I don't use a glove. I never used a glove, jump cue, anything else. I'm dating myself, but so even when I'm playing with carbon fiber, I'm using my bare hands, and I noticed a tactile difference in the feel of it after I cleaned it up with it. So it's just either it's cleaner or it's doing something that makes it smoother, but it felt terrific.
I think it's a good product. So I don't know I think there's like $30, right?
Yeah, we're selling them for $30, but we're also giving them away periodically to our viewers in the Shark Stream as well as our subscribers, and we have a bunch of stuff to give away this. What is it? August 1st coming up, for our monthly subscribers. I think there's a $200 McDermott Cue in there. There's a couple other things. But check out the Shark Stream's Facebook page. I think Bobby just put a whole list of stuff that we're going to be raffling off to our subscribers in about a week.
So Mike's got a foul here. If I were Don, I would not be trying to get out with this rack. I would push that one ball up table and freeze the cue ball right on that. I think, what is that, the 5-9?
Yeah, the 5 and 9 as blockers there.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Dan, if you're on Facebook, you can go to the Facebook Shark Stream page, and there's you can follow us to get notifications and stuff like that when we go live. But there's a button right on there, and you have to go onto the web page. You can't do it on your app. So you have to go to Safari, Chrome, whatever you got on your phone or computer. Go to our Facebook Shark Stream page, and then you'll see a button that says subscribe. And it'll ask you for your credit card information. It's $4.99 a month. And it definitely greatly helps us here at the Shark Stream to bring you guys awesome matches. So I think that might also be the case on YouTube, but it's weird. On Facebook, they call paying members subscribers. On YouTube, they call paying subscribers members. So there's a terminology thing that they call it differently. On YouTube, if you go to the YouTube page, you can click join, and then it'll give you the same quiz of, do you want to follow the Shark Stream for $4.99 a month? And it'll tell you all about the raffles, and then that's how it works.
So Don tried for the run out, and it didn't work. So that was kind of my concern there.
Yeah.
I thought the 3 foul was definitely an option.
I think that would have been a higher chance of success than trying to run there. But now the balls are wide open. Every ball's pretty much got a pocket. 6 is a little tricky behind the 8, maybe.
I'd play safe on this ball right now. Low percentage.
Breeze, but kind of left it straight in the corner. Got a little angle. He should be able to slide past the 4.
Pump the 4 and hold it.
That's one way to do it too.
This table's beating him up.
Well, I don't think that would have gone on any other table in this room either.
No.
He was a little...
But once you start messing with your stroke, that's what this table does.
Absolutely right. You start thinking, I got to be perfect, and then of course you're a dot and a half.
Telling you, I saw his stroke was a little off in warm-ups and practice. He was like a jackhammer with his stroke instead of something nice and smooth.
Smooth, yeah, because you don't even have to get close to the 5 ball on that shot. So you just make the 4, figuring out what he's going to do. Johnny's, of course, our Facebook or our YouTube representative. I personally, I like that anybody can tune on either platform. Oh, look at it, bounce right back behind the 8. That I like both platforms, but the thing is, for me, when I'm sitting in my house watching either old content or subscriber only content, I love watching it on my big screen TV. Watching it on my phone is no go. So, and the only way you can watch Facebook, unless you can do Streamcast or whatever they call it.
Yeah, I stream quite often, so It all depends on what I want to do. If there's no Yankee game on, I might put it on the TV. If there's a Yankee game on, I'm gonna have the computer playing the pool and the Yankee game on the TV. And this could go.
Side. He missed it wide enough that it's going to be a hard cut.
It's Will Ailey. I've done the booth thing a number of times over the years. So I'm one of the early guys doing it, but I don't do it all the time because I live kind of far away.
Yep, he's done it with me a couple times. At least 2 or 3 times. I've had you in here over Zoom a couple times. Well, at least once.
Once. We had some issues.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an echo issue, but yeah, that's Will Ailey. He's down here most Wednesdays, so if I need a co-pilot, he's always welcome to come join me. Look at this. He's almost got the line. Just Don's rolling it out. Just both of them went outside. Got to shorten them up a little bit. And with that speed, it's going to roll out.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Nice shot.
Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, those 4-inch side pockets get a lot wider when the cue's heading towards you.
This is not a gimme shot right here.
No, this is still a tester.
I'd be hating it. Pockets are tough. I hit the front nipple on this.
I hit both points almost every time.
Yeah.
All right, Mike goes up 3-1. All right, Mike's to the table racking up. As always in list rolls, you rack your own. Two and the 3 in the same corner. Maybe the 7's going to join them. Not quite. But the 8 is going to block that 1-ball shot. I don't think you can see this directly. Can't see a push out here. The 6-9's not looking great for a run out. So the right thing to do, yeah, he's just going to push it to the corner and make Don come in and try to figure something out. You got the 1 in the corner, but then you got the 4 in the opposite corner, 5 on the short rail. It's just, this is a hot mess. It's going to be hard to get out. Hard to say if this is got room to get around the 7. Rail first, pocket the 1. Certainly a long stretch, though. All right, well, the good news is you broke up the 6-9. Didn't leave Don very much to... Oh, there goes the 6-7 now. 6 might still be cuttable. At least all the balls are separated. Nice clean pocket. He tempted to try and smash this 4 in the corner, but you got to be really good to get the cue ball back on the 5. Good. Well, he pulled it back a little bit, enough to make it. Guessing he's going to go up and down the table to get enough force. Get back here for the 6. Oh, just decides to put it on the short rail in the middle. Not a bad strategy either. Because that 6 is kind of ugly. And he did get position on the 6, strangely enough. The bank slides right by the 9. Beautiful shot. Now he's got a piece of the 6 ball. Might be able to play an old 1 pocket shot. The 9's making the pocket a little bit bigger, actually. Sort of. Tap it into the rail, make Don deal with it. And so the late stage game of safeties continues. 7 ball going to help him? Oh, it sure is. Beautiful safe there. That's going to be trouble for Mike. Our new sponsor in the upper left side of your corner, or upper left corner of your screen, WR Carbon Magic Polish. Really great for carbon fiber shafts. And if you're interested, you can go to their website. Brownie, I'll let Will answer that when he gets back to the booth. He stepped out for a moment, but he should be back shortly. I don't know enough about tips, so I would have to defer to him. You like to use a lot of spin. My buddy Dave likes to use a softer tip. He says it gives him more action with less power. But I personally, like I said, I prefer harder tips just because I want more action. I can feel it that way. I just make sure it's scuffed up, real good. Ronnie, do you know what tip you have on there now? Is it like the one that came with the cue, or just curious? Because if that's the case, and if you like it, you might want to use another cue that has tips. There's different ways to find out what other tips feel like without actually taking your tip off and putting a new one on. You have no idea? Yeah, see, that's hard to tell then.
If you use a lot of spin, I like to use a softer tip, but that's me. You can do the same. There's a lot of theories behind it that doesn't matter. They say that a soft tip and a hard tip doesn't matter. I call BS on that, and most players will. But
I did ask Lucas once recently what kind of tip he likes to use, and he says he uses an R5 medium.
Yep, and that's because it doesn't mushroom as much as a super soft.
The softer tips tend to mushroom. They have to take a little bit more maintenance. They don't last as long. And at the end of the day, I was saying with my buddy Dave, he prefers it because he can get more pronounced English with less power. I personally, if I want more spin, like I said, I just hit it harder.
And how I'd argue with people is if your stroke is pure, you don't need the power. It doesn't matter what tip that you have on there. A nice soft stroke, you can still draw it back 4 or 5 feet.
Yeah, Dan has a medium as well. My hunch is whatever Paul puts on, I'll probably be happy with, but I'll ask him when he delivers it. What did you put on here? It just, yeah. But I honestly don't have a lot of experience with soft. I know when I used Dave's carbon fiber with a soft tip, I didn't like it. I don't know if it was the fiber or if it was the softer tip, but I felt like the ball was flying all over the place.
I know the chalk makes a difference. I know I just won the Taom chalk, and I love using the Taom chalk on my table because it's a cleaner chalk.
Doesn't get it as dirty, yeah.
Doesn't get the table as dirty. It just keeps it very clean. But I like master chalk if I want to put good spin on the ball and get more action. So that's how I feel. I feel like I miscue more with the Taom than I do master chalk.
Really? Okay. I know it's a different texture. It to me, it almost feels more clayish than chalky.
Correct. And I think that's why I feel like I miscue from time to time.
Mm.
Those out there that don't know me, I'm I'm not the best player in the world, but I do play a lot.
You got a table in your house. You come down here at least once a week. So you play. I've seen you in the tournaments.
Yeah.
Well, they got you ranked in the Masters right now. So you're playing 9-ball, right?
Well, yeah. So I'm a 7-8 in APA, but I haven't played regular APA matches in a few number of years now.
And in Masters, it really doesn't matter.
Masters, it's straight races. They don't rank you. So, but I've last 3 sessions, I'm 80% in this Masters League, which is really good. Yeah,
It's really good.
This is not an easy Masters League. So, I've done really well, and people have noticed. And again, it's working on all aspects of the game. My mental game is my biggest weakness, and I've worked hard on that.
Beautiful cut shot there.
That is beautiful. But what I would tell people is I work on stroke and things that I miss. If I miss now, I set that ball up 100 times to figure out why am I missing it.
Yeah, I do. I see Lucas do that a lot, and I've started to adopt that as well if I'm playing by myself, which I don't like to do very often. But yeah, I think Will's been on the stream a couple times in a couple different tournaments. I don't know if I've actually, because he's not on the list, and you don't usually do action matches down here, so.
I don't like the gamble. I will. I just don't like to do it. And Frowny, I played on the stream here on the 5:30 and under event down here. I was on a Make a Score tour out of Rex.
That's what I'm thinking of.
There was an underdog tournament that I won, and the last one that I won that I may have been streamed once or twice was an Ironman. But that was out of Rhode Island. I get streamed in Rhode Island quite a bit. So.
Yeah, I know. I've streamed. I've been in the booth for your matches at least twice, and I think they might have been the Joss Zuglin, or I forget which other one it was.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been when Lance brought his Make a Score down here. No, I'm pretty sure you participated in that one. I just got a little bit of a roll going right now.
Oh, you cursed that one.
I jinxed the hell out of him right there. He's won the last 4 in a row. He seems to have dialed it in a little bit, and then all of a sudden I say something and he rattles a 7.
He tried to hold that with inside English and got burned.
Got burned, yeah. Gotta go around 3 rails to get back, you know?
Frowny, when you talk about me being streamed now, I actually am finding I don't like it because I'm not hiding. Anywhere I go, people know me now, and it's kind of driving me crazy. I can't hide in a tournament anymore and surprise people.
Yeah, sometimes they, ooh, just a little off the line and a little too hard.
He overbaked it too. But this, again, is just going to be... So, Bobby Hunt would tell you on this shot, it's really hard to get around the table. Go rail first on this shot with the 8 ball, and then you're going to run the cue ball right to where you want to be. But you have to have the confidence. This is a little bit off the rail, so you have to have the confidence to hit well enough in front of the 8 to make it. But it's really the easier shot. See, this just doesn't work, you know.
It's very makeable, but it's going to be a tester.
And that rail first shot, it's more of an old school shot.
Oh yeah, totally. I used that all the time when I was playing. I think I might have used it this last week on the stream. Nice shot. Well,
that is a very nice shot.
Very nice completion. Mike goes up 5-1. Frowny, I'm not a huge fan of being streamed because they call me Frowny for a reason. That's pretty awesome.
We might have something in common there, Frowny.
Yeah. Will has resting anger face as well. Verify the score real quick. Go 5-1.
Yeah, Don's not happy at the moment. He
started off strong, but I think he's going to lose 2 spots today if this keeps up. Break 6 in the way a little bit. Bad IT guy. I forgot to check the overhead camera before I started the stream. And it's not in service at the moment, so I can't show you exactly what we're looking at. Look at this.
So,
I mean, it's called 9, but...
And it's a very hard one. Like, you can do this. So you're going to have to hit left side of the 1 ball to make this.
And then the cue's going to head straight into the 9's path.
Yeah, put draw on it, you'll be okay, but it's not a guaranteed bank at all. Mr. Andy Gow, how you doing, sir?
Is that Andy Gow?
Yes, sir. Andy G.
It's an Andy G, but he usually comes in on Facebook. He must be watching on his TV tonight.
It looks like YouTube. I think that's Andy Gow.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good safe, not gonna lie. 9 ball gets bigger and bigger the shorter you get to the rail.
Don will jump, but I don't think he likes to, so.
I'm looking to be left behind.
Yeah, that's the key with that, right? Like, I kick myself in tournaments because this is one of those ones where my decision cost me the rack. If I have a low percentage at hitting the object ball, then why am I not moving the 9 ball up table on that shot? Getting the 9 ball so it's not in a combo position. Be better to give up ball in hand, especially on this table, than to give up a 1-9 combo.
Right in for 6-1.
Matter of fact, when I played Steve Mack at racks, he probably would have gone up on me 4-1, and he played a 1-9 combo and then left it for me to make it.
Oh, he sold it out. Yeah,
make it 3-2.
That's the danger. If you're going to hit a 9 combo, make sure you hit it with enough speed that if you miss, it comes out of that pocket. If you just leave it hanging, you're.
And it was an 8-3 race, so he gave me 2 racks.
Oh, wow.
Trouble at that point.
See what we got here, Mike. On a huge tear right now. Just took the last 6 games in a row after Don won the first one.
Yeah, unfortunately, knowing Don, I think at this point, unless he gets a few racks given to him, this is going to be over pretty quick.
Frowny, we just recorded a bunch of instructional videos. Bobby Hilton was working with our social media and cameraman, Austin Cofrancisco. They recorded them yesterday afternoon, so I expect they'll be edited and published sometime in the next couple of days, at least this month. They did a bunch of them. I think they did mostly English kinds of videos. Okay, so it is Andy Gow, and for the exact same reason I use YouTube at home. This is Will Ailey sitting next to me in the booth. Finished up his Masters League tonight. Decided to sit and talk pool for a little bit.
I'd been streaming from my house for a while, and people that were popping in, I tell them to ask questions, but they were pretty quiet. Sitting in my house and just, shooting balls, and I'd be more than willing to help somebody out.
A really tricky spot to be in. 3's buried, 4's makeable in the same corner, but look, the 5's just sitting over in no man's land. Might be able to play it all the way up in the upper right corner, but that's a hard shot to get position for. That's an interesting shot. He can play the 4 in the lower right corner. And if you can get by the 8, he might be able to push the 5 out of there.
You're doing well, Andy.
Came offline a little bit. I don't think that 8 or that 5 ball goes by the 9 anyway.
No, I don't think so. It's one of those ones you want to just stick it right there and play a safe off of it.
Yeah, that's a good point. You can freeze to it real easy there.
I'd like to do it from the bottom side.
No, definitely. So you push it to the 5 up table. Well, look up Will's stream. How does she find you if she wants to?
She'd have to look up my full name, Will Alien, friend me on Facebook.
Gotcha. Oh, he went for the 9 carom, I think. That would have been pretty. Yeah, he's got a big smile on his face. Like, I'm gonna see if I can play it.
So Donna's losing 6-1, and you're bold enough to play him for $500. Wow, I'm impressed.
We got a lot of guys that talk on the comments. At least that's not even a jump cue. That's the top half of his cue. Just the shaft.
And you know, to be fair, like you guys see them missing on this table. These are 4-inch pockets, and it's like a pro cut. So, and the side pockets are wicked tiny on this. It makes a lot of people look bad. Yes, they look like 480 Fargos. You get both these guys doing tournaments, which neither one of them do tournaments. These guys are legitimately 560 to 570 Fargo players. So, you know, one of the reasons I don't do the list anymore is because of these type of comments that I saw, and when I didn't feel confident on our table. It was very hard to come down here after driving 2 hours to get here and play on the table. That was extremely hard. It wasn't helping my game, right? So it's one of the reasons why I kind of dropped off the list.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons that we have 2 streamable tables. Like, we have table 4 and table 8. Table 8's the one we're looking at right now. Table 4 has 4 3/8-inch pockets for them. I think that's what I measured them out as.
Yeah, and that doesn't bother me at all.
And that's tighter than normal, but not crazy.
Yeah.
So, like,
it's a good gambling
yeah,
table.
oh, it's a good, yeah. So that's why Mike and I picked that one instead of 8, because we just didn't want to go on table 8 on the stream and just start boxing them ball after ball after ball, and just nobody wants to see that. You know what I mean? And
you don't want to see it. It doesn't help your game.
No.
That's why it's really kind of. And I understand why Bobby has this table in the room, because you have pros coming into this room that do play much better than we do on this. Table is not really for your average player.
Yeah, we got another great subscribers only match coming up in a few weeks. We have I finally sent you a Facebook request.
Yep.
We have Jonas Soto Camino coming in. He's going to be here next month for at least a few days. I'm not sure how long he's staying this time. I know he's going to go to the U.S. Open with Lucas and a couple other tournaments in the United States. But we will hopefully have him for a few days, and we're working on getting Moritz and at least one other player to play a Scotch doubles race to 20 or something like that, like we usually do. So it'll be another young superstar tournament that we'll have. And we'll, as always, we'll do it up with the ref and the announcer and all that good stuff. So, and we'll try to get some nice celebrity commentators as well. So keep tuned in, keep supporting the Shark Stream. We'll definitely have something like that for you next month. And, you know, since these guys will be here, we've already discussed having them do a couple of little shorts for us, little lessons. You know, how do I think about this? How do I do that? Good stuff.
Alberto gave me some lessons, and I've incorporated some of those suggestions into my game.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he talked to me about eye pattern quite a bit, and that I wasn't really checking the angle to the pocket before I take the shot, and then making sure that I look at the cue ball first, and then the object ball. And it's definitely helped my game. So
I mean, these guys have seen it all, done it all, as young as they are. And to answer the question from Giuseppe, Lucas and Jonas are both sponsored by McDermott Cues. So what we're trying to do is make sure that if we can get a couple of guys on another, we don't want to say McDermott versus another cue manufacturer, because nobody wants to, but it could be a Team McDermott versus Team XYZ. We're not sure. So we're trying to figure that out. But if it does, I mean, as it turns out, just getting them all on the table is going to be amazing. So we'll see. And Lucas and Jonas are great friends. Anyway, we'd reached out to Q-Tech and Predator and a couple other cue manufacturers. Like, wouldn't this be a neat fight? And the universal symbol was, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why don't you want to do that? And it's like, well, if our team doesn't win,
Yeah.
then the other product looks better than ours. You know, I was like, well, it's just guys, you know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, I understand that from a marketing point of view. So we'll figure something out. But I suspect Lucas and Jonas will play together.
Frowny, I've taken lessons a number of times over the years. Johnny Archer, Rodney the Rocket Morris, who is probably one of my favorite pros. A little quick story with Rodney. I saw him at a Joss tour. He was in the finals, and the first few racks wasn't going his way, so he lined up 4 shots of tequila on the bar rail, took them all down, and then he just wiped the guy off the table. So funny enough, the 3 tournaments that I've won, I've done a shot of tequila before the finals each time. So I've incorporated that.
It worked. It worked.
I don't know what to say. Maybe that was not the best of lessons, but
everyone has their rituals, and if that's a good ritual, then so be it. If it even mentally straightens you, I'd be like, oh, I feel better now. Let's do this.
And to put it in perspective, Steve Mack had to beat me twice in the finals in the underdog. He beat me 8-0 in the first set.
Ouch.
And it was like 2:00 in the morning. So I went up to the bar, got a shot of tequila, and I beat him 4-3, 3-4 in the next set. So
we had some corrective fluid from the bartender. Exactly. That's why if it works again.
But yeah, I've been also taught by Mike Massey. Alberto taught me. So I've had some good teachers over the year. Earl Strickland.
Yeah, he's been here.
Grady Matthews. One of my favorites, Grady Matthews. He was a great, great guy. Miss him.
Nice thin shot.
Very nice.
Yeah. Universal symbol for slow down cue. I'll slap the table.
He's going to make the same cut again.
I think he's posed pretty good to come around the 8-9. I don't think I'll have a problem there. He's just all about speed control.
Might hit the 9. No, came around it. He's slowing it down.
Use the force, Mike.
The 7 ball's tough. That's really the key ball in this rack anyway.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I don't have the overhead, but I suspect it's got a little bit more point meat on it than you would look like.
This is a tough ask here. I'd actually rather leave the cue ball where the 6 ball is now and play the back cut into the side pocket.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Bank the 7 ball.
Yeah. That's pretty hilarious, Rowdy.
So my match against Earl Strickland was at Bart's room down in the Haven, and he played safe on me, and I kicked the 2 ball in and ran the rest of the rack out.
Oh wow!
And Phil Davis was down there that day. Tim Levine, a bunch of people were down there. Nobody beat him. I was the only guy to beat him that day. Anybody can win 1 rack. That's what he said.
That's true.
That's what he said after that. He's going to pocket it in. He's going to do exactly what I said. He's going to try. I think the angle is too tough. I don't think you can bank this straight back.
A lot of inside English to come straight back.
Yeah.
I think I see what he was trying to do. He's trying to use the
play safe. Yeah. To me, this is as good as a safe because even if you pocket the 7, what are you going to do? This table is a more strategic table with this level of play on the table. You got to really think about what you're doing. And that could be a sellout on this. And
this is, I mean, I understand what you're saying because, I mean, you're going to be tempted to try and move the cue around the table, but the natural position that it's going to roll towards seems to me like it's going to try and do one of these, even if he does smack it.
Right, but if you get to where your line ends there, you have a decent shot on line.
Yeah, and anytime you use force into the pocket or try to cheat it, which Mike just did,
yeah,
rattle, rattle, rattle. So Don's got a great opportunity here. I mean, he could try to go pro side, as Bobby instructed. try to do that, leave that shot. I don't know if you can try to find this shot, then you can come out this way.
He's really straight on this 7-ball though. This is not going to be easy to get what he's looking for. A lot of people use topspin here, but it kills the cue ball. If you thin that 7-ball more with bottom English, the cue ball will run for you. So there's a little tip for people.
That's definitely one of the things that kind of a rookie mistake. If you use topspin in there, it's almost like burning out backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Little cut shot. Oh, he got robbed. I thought that was down.
I do, and I feel he rushed it just a hair.
Might have.
A little quick on it. Again, here's exactly what I was talking about. With topspin, you can kill it and end up 50-yard line on the 9. With draw, it can run it too far. So it's really...
Decided to just play simple safety or side pocket position.
Yeah, which I would never do on this table. Like, the side pocket is death here.
Well, I mean, if you're going to miss, you want to miss off the right point, because then the 9's going to roll this way and just run it with the right speed.
If you use draw on that frowny, it will run up the table. So it won't stay down there where it did right there. Draw with rail first.
Ooh. And this is going to be a game for Don, it looks like.
Yep. But this lets him back in the match now.
It sure does.
You know, at 6-3, you're feeling like, okay, I just got to, he can win 1, but if I win 2, it's, 7-4,
it's a little tighter.
Or 7-5, and it's a little bit tighter. Rack got a tough cut on the 1-ball here. You might actually billiard the 2-ball in if you hit the 1-ball correctly. So definitely a good shot to pocket the 2-ball here on this shot. Gets the double bank, just like he planned it. Looks like he might be using, use the high English on that. He's going to be okay on this. He may have hooked himself. He's really close. If he has, he can probably just stop the cue ball there and leave Don long. Okay, he had enough for it. Now these balls are different colors for me, so I think he's hooked on the next ball for himself, the 4-ball. Yeah, it looks like he's hooked on the 4-ball. Might be able to run that up table. This is just rough for position. I'd be playing safe here. I'd be looking to duck. Going to get the billiard and make the shot. So that's awesome. He can now get out of this rack. I cut this ball on the side. I think he's get better position on the 7. He looks like he's playing down table. With this shot, you're going to have to punch it a little bit harder. He did. He makes the shot really good. A little straight on the 7, so maybe I draw underneath it and play it all the way up table on this. We'll see what he does. You could use high left English and maybe get on the 8-ball. He's going to have to hit it hard, though. Yeah, so that's what I don't like about that shot. So if he had drawn and gone underneath it, I think it was the better shot there. Now he's looking at a bank shot here.
Ooh, this rack went a lot quicker.
Yeah, no, Mike's done well, except he's tough on this 8 ball. I think, yeah, he tried to bank it and makes the bank.
Nice shot.
Boom. So this is kind of the witching hour here, you know, 7-3, you know, he's just got 2 games to win. You know, now Don, he's got to go 6-1, right, in order to win. That's a tough mountain to climb.
Kind of disturbing to me how many people I can identify now by just looking at their shoes and the back of their legs. That's Oscar sitting on table 4.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. He's my teammate, and you're correct.
I spend too much time in here.
Oscar did well in his Masters match night. Clint had a rough night.
Dixon?
Yeah. I was up 6-1. I gave away a couple of racks. A little frustrated with myself, but then I finished it off.
Try break. Got a clean shot at the one, but nowhere really easy for it to go. So Don's got his work cut out for him. I think he's going to try it for the lower left corner now. No, he's just going to play forward.
Like you said, I like the Masters format. I used to be really good in the Crocs.
Crocodile Sean D. Definitely good for Crocs.
I used to be much better at 8-ball. I've kind of slacked off on it a little bit and kind of rested on my laurels a little bit. So I pay a little bit more attention when I play 8-ball now.
Go on.
Trying to get behind it, I think. I don't think he has a chance.
Yeah, that was going straight at the 9.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Maybe he was just trying to move the 9 out of the 1-9 range.
And again, on this table, especially being in Don's position, I am free fouling you all day long with this rack. I'm hitting that 1 ball up table, putting it behind the 7, and making you go around 2 balls to hit it.
Go for the out.
Yeah, and you know that to me, this is the experience of not playing tournaments. Because in tournaments, you don't fool around. You don't let the other person breathe.
And even if you don't get the 3 foul, you can ostensibly still get ball in hand, and that's almost always a
correct. I mean, if on the second one you look like you can run it out, you have the choice, but you're in control. That's the key.
Yeah, and then you get in trouble, and you're just like, all right, now I'm going to stick them. Use the 6 to get position. That was not bad. I like to do that too, but then again, I basically started playing pool most of the time. I was playing straight pool, so you learn to become immune to having, kinetics. In other words, I can hit comfortably into a ball and still predict where it's going to go. Oh, I think he got stuck.
He did. He's not liking that.
I think he's hurting right now.
You can see the outside of the 5 ball.
Here you go. Feather the 5 and rocket that 9 in the corner. Ryan Merrick style. Look at that.
You could see it.
You can see it.
Nice shot, Don.
This is going to set up a pretty nice little out here, I think. Yep.
Don gets rolling. He plays very well. It's just when he gets in good rhythm. But again, he's kind of behind a little bit in the set, so he's in his own head some. And he just lost a match Hill. So again, like on that shot, I don't feel that was a smooth stroke. Right? I feel like
a little stabby.
Yeah, a little push on there, and that's I think the difference. Ooh, I'm gonna run out. Nope. No, I'm not.
Make the next ball. See what Mike's got. He's made some pretty nice cuts from this, just like this one so far.
Yeah, this is tough. I'd be looking to hide behind the 8.
Go up and down. You gonna get to the short rail?
Yeah.
Not quite. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's like, come on.
Come on.
But again, Don has options here. I mean, he can make this. That's definitely an option, but there's safety opportunities here as well. I like using the 8 ball and putting the 7 by the 9 ball.
I'm for it.
And for me, this is just the table, right? Like normally he's right that you can make that shot and get out there, but this table is just tough. It's very unforgiving.
Looking to rail first it from the wrong side. I see. I just.
Yeah, I wish we had the overhead here.
He just used a bad word, but coming at it from this section here, it's more likely to just pinch into the point than it is to cut it in. I don't like this play.
I don't like where the cue ball goes from it. I think it's going to go right down that bottom rail making this shot. So it's not going to come off the bottom rail. It's going to follow it parallel.
And worst case scenario, you just float right by.
And, this is critical here. Like to me, you want to put the 8 ball in the same pocket, right? Because you go above the 8 here, and it's, no, there won't be any more matches, Andy. This will be it.
And this feels weird, but they must look different on camera than it does in reality.
I'd be afraid going to the same side as the 9 ball.
The cue's going to rock it out of there. He had good speed, slowed it down enough with the inside.
But he ended up too high.
Now he's got to go at least one rail to get on the 9.
He's okay. It's just it's not optimal. That's all.
Look how long the bridge is. That's another variable. Take the table. Oh no!
You got to be kidding me!
Wow, I thought that was going to drop.
It doesn't matter. That is so hard where he's at right now.
Off the point, over the ball. It's going to be tough.
Back cutting it.
Back cut, yes. Right.
You don't have to back cut this. You can go to the other pocket if you want to. He did call the back cut. Now the top corner where he's at is in play on this shot. Just
2 rails.
Yeah, 2 rails into the top corner.
If he hits it that well.
No, he hit that good. He had inside English on that. It's really a girly show. Like, it's just like, it reminds me of like As the World Turns, like back in the day. I don't know why I'm watching it.
Because it's 4 a.m.
Yeah. I got sleep issues. I can't turn my brain off to sleep.
All right, here we go. Don breaking. Look at that break. 2 balls rocketed in the corner there. Like the 5 and the 6. Or the 4 and the 6. Yeah, it was the 4 and the 6. Nice break. Decent spread, but he lost control of the cue ball a little bit. He's trying to leave the cue ball in the middle of the table, so you got options.
No one believes me, but my thumper cue, I don't have to hit it that hard, and I know where the cue ball is going and not where every ball is going. I don't have to hit it hard at all.
That would have been a really nice cut shot. I applaud the effort, but
Steve gave me a rack tonight, an 8 ball, and I slammed the 8 ball rack, and nothing moved. It just went thunk. He goes,
slugged you?
He goes, did you miss the rack, or did I give you a bad rack? And I So for me, I don't comment on that. I just say, go ahead and play. You know, it is what it is. I don't care if 4 balls hit a rail or not. Let's play the rack out. That's what the rack was. Play it out.
What it is, yep.
You know, play it out. Because I'm fine with breakout shots and things like that. So I'm not gonna. But he slug racked me.
Having said that,
Having said that, that's why I love rack your own, because that way I can really I know exactly what's going to happen when I break. When someone else racks, I have to really watch close to see if balls are loose or not. Then I'll change what I'm doing.
Randy says he's coming for pool school. Yeah, we're having week 4 of pool school this Saturday from 11 to 3. From what I heard, the format this week will be a little different. We focused a lot on techniques over the last few weeks, and this week we'll be doing sort of a chip tournament. So we're going to basically have the players all playing together, and the 4 instructors, myself, Bart, Bobby Hunt, and Don DeMeo, will be and Bobby Hilton, I presume, will be walking around sort of giving advice. So Andy, you're absolutely welcome to come down and watch these guys play and see if you can offer some wisdom.
Done that one of the early pool schools. I was one of the coaches.
I feel like I hear this song 4 times a night. Maybe that just tells me I'm here too often and too long.
More than likely, yeah.
Great, like God's plan. Just like every hour, it seems like somebody plays the darn thing.
My daughter's heard my playlist on Spotify, and she goes, "Daddy, how do you know all these songs?" I'm like, "I'm old." Because I like some of these. Yeah.
My 13-year-old boy will start singing a song. I'm like, that's from Madonna in the 80s, right? Like, no, it's this guy. And I'm like, oh, so they sampled her? Pretty much everything's a copy or a remake these days.
I think that's where it gets hard with copyrights on some of the riffs and stuff like that. There's really only 16 notes. So how many combinations are there, right? So you're going to. I think it's 16. It's been a long time since I took those music theory courses.
There's only so many chord progressions and there's only so many melodies. There's always going to be someone stepping on something else.
I played the saxophone for many years, and I was in the drum course for a time.
Man, buried in the pocket again. So in this situation, if you hit follow, it's gonna go. It could kill the shot.
It could go right in the pocket.
It could go right in the pocket. Yeah. See, you can sort of see how the brakes came on there. If you hit that with a little bit of draw, it's gonna jump off the back up the table.
Draw with rail first.
Yeah,
that's the key.
Yep. Rattled it.
Jumping out of the shots a little bit.
He does seem to be like jumping. Yeah, to use those exact words, jumping up a little bit. He's not down. Like I like to stay down on the table almost too long, just as a practice habit. But some of these guys, they just tend to be like, the cue hits. See how long he stayed down?
Yeah,
that's good technique.
There's certain shots that I jump out of a little bit. It's usually
the cue's coming back at you.
It's usually it's after the cue ball left. It's just a shot that I know damn well I miss it a lot, and I jump out of it a little bit afterwards.
Mike's gonna get to the hell here unless I just jinxed him. Nope, he's there.
So one of the shots is if on a table that I don't know, and I have to slow roll it down the table on a thin cut. I do not know if that cue ball is going to go straight or not. So as soon as I hit it, I'm like praying, don't roll out.
Oh, I'm gonna scoot over and see if it touches the rail and bounces out a little bit.
Exactly. Steve Rowe caught me doing that in the tournament. It was on the hill, and I had to thin cut the 9 ball in on a slow hit. And he's like, "Oh, we're going to call that the Will Shuffle."
I just, I've said it many times. When I was learning to play pool, there was an old man that would hit you with a cue, the back of a pool cue if you popped out of it, right in the head if you weren't paying attention. and that basically taught me to stay down all the time.
Where it matters is there's guys that move during their stroke. That's a problem.
Yep.
There's guys that move after the cue ball has left the tip. It doesn't matter. It's gone at that point. It's not good. It's not good. Don't get me wrong, but it's once you've struck the cue ball, anything after that doesn't really matter. So it's really the difference between whether they're doing it in the middle of their stroke or after it's already left.
For me, it's just a lesson to stay down until you're followed all the way through. Like if you just stab and stand, then you're not getting good contact in general.
99% of the time, if you watch me, I'm hit the balls in the pocket before I move.
I've actually fouled once or twice, not often, but I'll stay down and pay attention to the action of the balls that I'm interested in. And then another ball come and hit my cue, and I'm like,
on that.
Better about not doing that lately, but it used to be a problem. Just because I refused to stand up until I had to. Went for the 9. I'm a little shocked by that.
Well, he's up 8-4, so I think.
I mean, you can go for a little, and especially with that 4 ball sitting behind the 7, there wasn't very much incentive to run out here. All right, now I'm less surprised now.
What does Bobby say? There's no future in making.
There's no future in making this ball. So you might as well have a little swipe at the 9. Would be an opportunity here. Nah, not really.
What I would do here is I would try to get in behind it. Can you? No, they're right on the rail. No, you can't. No, I don't see anything good here. I would try to bank it back into the side pocket and then see if I can play safe off the 4 ball. I mean, if I miss, I don't care because I don't have anything anyway. Just like that. See, now if he had made that, he has a safe off the 4 ball. Right. I'm not making this ball. I have no interest. Like, that's too close. I don't even want to get that close.
You get it?
Oh, no.
Almost.
So he went off the side rail there, and again, this is another one of those different shots. If you go off the bottom rail when the 3 is in the pocket like that, it runs straight back down the table into those. Again, it's a different shot, but people don't use that bottom rail on those shots enough.
Temptation is going to be to use low right and try to get back on the 5, but and he did. Got to make sure you hit it pure.
I made a ridiculous shot last night where the 2-8 were frozen up this part of the table and the 3-9 combo was down here. I drew the cue ball back into the 3-9
and got it.
Yeah. Right. The guy's like, that was ridiculous. I think, well, what was I going to do? I couldn't make the 2 ball.
Give it a run. I'm looking pretty confident here.
I think he just played bad early in the set. I think he actually started playing even middle of the set. So get a good little draw on this. Fine, perfect. Here, I don't want him to baby this 8 ball. I want him to stroke this in, and he should go 2 rails back for the 9 ball. Come out. See, that's the shot. That's the right shot to play. Now this is easy. He gives it to him.
Give him the tap in.
Which, on this table, it's hard to give up anything. But they've missed plenty.
Am I still on the hill? Don needs 4 in a row.
Got the top view.
I do now.
Two nine is wired, and there's no shot on the one.
This is nuts. I just tap the 9 out.
Yeah, get the
Give it
9
a
out of the way. That's the shot here all day long, because you don't want to give up the rack. Make the guy earn it.
Get another little stabby shot there.
Yeah, and I think he was going for the 3 ball, but the bank on the 1 was easy with decent position. So, again, it's just, I don't know, uncomfortable play.
Rail.
No rail. Are they going to see it? Yes, they saw it. A lot of people don't see that shot. They forget the guy didn't hit the rail. Again, like tournament play here, I'm 3-fouling him. I can stick him behind the 4 ball or the 5-8. I got options.
Trying to see if the 4 goes by the 8, and I don't believe so.
Right. So I mean, again, this is kind of, no, it looks like it goes back and down the corner. I think it does. Small gap there.
Do with the 4. The 4, the pink ball next to the 8 ball is the next ball.
Sorry, I've gotten a little quiet here. I'm fading a little bit on myself.
Got to drive.
About 40 minutes.
That's not terrible.
Nope.
I did not think that would go, but I liked what he did with it. I mean, bouncing past the 5 is going to introduce the scratch. He might have an outside. Oh, he's going masse. Works, sort of.
It's fine. I don't. So again, this level, Lucas, I'm worried about him getting out.
Yes.
Here, I'd say the odds are in my favor. He's not getting out. So it's hard to think that way. But when I was doing the tournament 5:30 and under,
Well, it's an actuarial plan. Give your opponent a medium shot with 6 balls left on the table. Oh, he's shooting at the wrong ball. Oh, there you go. Mike must have gave him a heads up.
Yeah, and I was going to say either Mike shot the wrong ball or Don's about to. It's one of the two. So. And both these guys are very straight up players.
That's just a classy thing to do. You see somebody about to make an error like that, just say something. Mike wouldn't want to get ball in hand that way and win the set. That's just good sportsmanship. I don't know if they have any extra action on the side, but
I didn't see that on the list. And Don, no, I can guarantee Don will not. He does not gamble.
Oh, we caught the 8 ball.
Yep.
That could prove costly.
That to me is a problem at this point here, because I think this is relatively easy to get out at this point.
Well, Don's been playing pool since 5:30 today, or probably even earlier. He might have warmed up a little bit, so he's got about 4 hours of energy drain, let's say. So that might have just sort of affected him a little bit there when he was aiming at the 8, or when he was aiming at the 5.
Lately, I'm able to play like 6-7 hours a day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
a little too much angle right now.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to soft this a little bit. A little inside to hold it. He can. A little more speed than that, believe it or not.
Yeah. Again, I have my TV, my computer, and the table right there. So it's.
And it,
And again, I feel like Don's been digging himself out of a hole here at 6-8. He may feel like he has a chance because if he makes it 8-7, Mike is seeing him in the rearview mirror at that point.
yeah, he's starting to come up hard.
Mm-hmm. Don't like the way he played that.
No, it was a little too ginger, a little too soft.
Again, he poked it. That was not a good stroke. That was a poke.
And cross-handed. I mean, when it's that close, you can. He's going to get lucky enough to get on the side here. Maybe that might have been the intention all along, but
with a decent angle to get out,
he should be able to draw back and finish this up.
This match is over, guys. Thanks for having me in the booth, Ryan.
In Stranger Things,
I know. You can blame me if he misses.
He just jinxed him right out of it.
Thanks for having me, brother.
No problem. Anytime you want.
No worries. Take care. I'm going to drive back. Good night, everybody.
Good night. There you have it, folks. Mike Papa takes over the number 11 spot from Don Gartner, and he was on our 10th spot. Now he's in our 12th spot. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you let everybody know that we're here. We will probably see you tomorrow or Friday for another list match. I'm not sure what else is going on, but definitely keep an eye on our Facebook page, and we'll keep you guys, and YouTube for that matter. We'll keep you guys posted. And look out for those subscribers. Look out for those instructional videos that we made last week or a couple days ago. They should be posted soon. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your week. I'll talk to you later.
We want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors here on the Shark Stream. You have Connecticut APA, Sigmaware, Agency One Group, Jacoby Custom Cues, Women in Pool, Mabel's Tables at Michael's Deli, NM Billiards Sales and Service, 11 Hall Avenue, Wallingford, Connecticut, KM Maintenance, JT's Pool Cue Repair, Salato app, Mark Anthony Home Improvements, Tommy's Tattoo Supply,